Welcome back to another episode of the Miss English Podcast. I am your host, Socheta, and I am absolutely thrilled to have you join us today in our cozy studio. There is something truly special about the energy we are sharing today because we are diving into a topic that has the power to change everything, the power of positivity. Thank you so much for having me, Socheta. It is an absolute pleasure to be here. Positivity is not just a buzzword. It is a way of navigating the complexities of life with hope and resilience. I can feel the wonderful vibes in this room already. I can too. You know, Mr. Socheta, I often tell my students that learning a language isn't just about grammar or vocabulary. It is about the mindset you bring to the table. When you believe you can do it, the words just seem to flow better. Have you noticed that in your own life and work? Absolutely. I have seen it time and time again. Whether you are learning English or managing a large team, if you approach a challenge with a heavy heart and a no in your mind, the walls stay up. But the moment you shift to a yes mindset, the doors begin to swing open. It's almost like magic, isn't it? It really is. But let's be real for a moment. Some people think being positive means ignoring the bad things or pretend that everything is perfect when it clearly isn't. How do we distinguish between true positivity and just, avoiding reality? That is a profound question. Real positivity is not about wearing a blindfold. It is about acknowledging the pain, the struggle, and the difficulty, but choosing to believe that they are not the end of the story. It is the courage to say, "This is hard, but I am stronger than this challenge." I love that. The courage to believe. I remember a time when I was so nervous about teaching my first advanced class. My hands were shaking and I kept thinking I would fail. But then I stopped, took a deep breath, and told myself, I am here to help, not to be perfect. That small shift changed the whole atmosphere of the room. And I bet your students felt that shift immediately. Your energy as a teacher sets the tone. When you are kind to yourself, you give others permission to be kind to themselves too. That is the ripple effect of positivity. It really did. Now, Mr. Socheta, for our listeners who might be going through a tough time right now, maybe they are struggling with their English exams or feeling overwhelmed at work, what is one practical positivity habit they can start today? I always recommend the 3 wins exercise. Every night before you sleep, no matter how bad the day felt, find 3 small wins. It could be as simple as, I learned 1 new word, I made a good cup of tea, or I smiled at a stranger. It retrains your brain to look for the light in the dark. Oh, I love that. It is so simple, but so powerful. I think I will start doing that tonight. Maybe my first win will be this wonderful conversation we're having right now. It feels so good to talk about things that nourish the soul. And that is exactly what positivity does. It nourishes us. It gives us the fuel to keep going when the road gets steep. Remember, Socheta, a positive mind finds opportunity in every difficulty, while a negative mind finds difficulty in every opportunity. That is such a powerful quote to live by. I want all our listeners to really take that in. You have the power to choose your lens. You can choose the lens of I can't or the lens of I am learning. And learning is such a beautiful, messy, wonderful process. Beautifully said. It is a journey, not a destination. We must be patient with ourselves as we cultivate this habit. It takes time to grow a garden, and the same goes for a positive mindset. It really does. Mr. Socheta, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your warmth with us today. I feel like my heart is a little lighter, and I hope our listeners feel the same way too. The pleasure was all mine, Socheta. To everyone listening, remember, your smile is your strength. Keep shining. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of the Miss English Podcast. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of our community. Go out there, find your 3 wins, and remember to stay positive. Until next time, I'm Socheta, sending you so much love and light. Goodbye.